A dead man managed to deceive Hitler for months and orchestrate the largest German military collapse in the Mediterranean. May 1943. Inside the Wolf's Lair, Hitler receives a report that arrived through the most improbable route possible. A corpse on the Spanish coast. The documents, perfect. The seals, authentic. The signatures, verified down to the final detail. His generals study every page, every mark, every word. Everything is real, or so it seemed, because in that bunker, while Hitler and his high command planned the defense of Sicily based on false documents, they had no idea they were being manipulated by the enemy. And when they finally discovered the truth, it was far too late. How did such a bold intelligence operation the course of World War II? Find out now, and please help me by subscribing to the channel. The operation began in London, months before that corpse reached Spanish waters. British intelligence faced a critical problem. The Allied invasion of southern Europe was inevitable, and German high command knew it. The question wasn't if, but where. Sicily was the obvious target, too obvious. If the Allies were to succeed, they needed to redirect German attention elsewhere. They needed a deception so convincing that Hitler himself would stake his forces on it. The British 20 Committee, responsible for counterintelligence operations, designed what would become Operation Mincemeat. The concept was audacious. Use a corpse carrying fabricated military documents to suggest the Allies would invade Greece and Sardinia instead of Sicily. The body would wash ashore in Spain, a neutral country with strong German intelligence presence. Spanish authorities would find the documents, share them with German agents, and the deception would reach Berlin through channels the Germans trusted completely. But the execution required perfection. Every detail had to withstand the most rigorous scrutiny. The body had to appear as a courier who died in a plane crash at sea. The documents had to be authentic British military correspondence. The identity had to be verifiable. Any inconsistency would expose the entire operation and possibly alert the Germans to the real invasion target. British intelligence obtained the body of Glyndwr Michael, a homeless man who died from ingesting rat poison in London. They created a complete identity for him, Major William Martin, Royal Marines. They fabricated personal letters, theatre ticket stubs, a photograph of a fiancée, receipts, identity cards. They dressed him in a Royal Marine uniform and attached a briefcase to his wrist containing top-secret documents. These documents outlined Allied invasion plans for Greece and Sardinia, with only minor, believable references to Sicily as a diversion. The most critical documents were letters between senior British military officials. One letter from Lieutenant General Archibald Nye to General Harold Alexander discussed troop deployments and mentioned Sicily only as a cover for the real operations in Greece. Another letter introduced Major Martin as a courier. The language was formal, military, authentic. Every seal, every signature, every reference had to match British military protocol exactly. On April 30th, 1943, the British submarine HMS Seraph released the body off the coast of Huelva, Spain. The location was strategic. Huelva had an active German intelligence network. The local Spanish authorities were known to cooperate with German agents. The currents would carry the body to shore within hours. Spanish fishermen discovered the body on the morning of May 1st. Local authorities immediately notified the British naval attaché in Madrid, as protocol required. But before the British could claim the body, Spanish intelligence photographed every document in the briefcase. Within days, those photographs reached German intelligence in Madrid. What came next would change everything. German intelligence officer Adolf Kloss in Madrid recognized the potential significance immediately. He forwarded the documents to Berlin with a recommendation for urgent analysis. The WWII, German military intelligence, began verification. They examined the paper, the ink, the seals, the signatures. They cross-referenced the names with known British officers. They analyzed the writing style and military terminology. Every test confirmed authenticity. The documents reached Hitler's desk in early May. General Oberst Alfred Jodl, Chief of Operations Staff, presented the findings to Hitler personally. The Führer studied the papers carefully. The letters discussed Allied strategy with the kind of casual detail that seemed impossible to fabricate. References to supply issues, personnel transfers, strategic concerns about Greece all matched German intelligence assessments of Allied capabilities and intentions. Hitler made his decision. He ordered immediate reinforcement of German positions in Greece and Sardinia. Panzer divisions were redirected from Sicily. Additional troops moved to the Balkans. The Luftwaffe shifted fighter squadrons to Greece. Naval units redeployed to defend Sardinian waters. The German High Command executed a complete strategic reorientation based on those documents found on a corpse. But that wasn't the most critical part yet. British intelligence monitored German communications through ultra-intercepts. They watched as German forces moved exactly as planned. The 20 Committee confirmed the operation's success within weeks. The Germans had taken the bait completely. Sicily's defences remained understaffed while German reinforcements moved to the wrong theatres. On July 10, 1943, Allied forces launched Operation Husky, the invasion of Sicily. Over 160,000 troops landed on beaches the Germans had deprioritized. The Italian and German defenders, expecting the main assault elsewhere, were overwhelmed. The island fell in 38 days. The invasion succeeded beyond Allied projections, largely because German reinforcements were defending Greece and Sardinia against an attack that never came. Hitler began receiving reports of the Sicily invasion within hours of the landing. His initial reaction was confusion. The intelligence from Spain had been conclusive. The documents authentic, the source credible. Yet the Allies were invading Sicily in force, not Greece. Something had gone catastrophically wrong. German intelligence reviewed the Operation Mincemeat documents again. They re-examined the body, the briefcase, the letters. The WWII launched an investigation into how British intelligence might have deceived them. Spanish authorities questioned everyone involved in finding and processing the body. German agents in London tried to verify Major William Martin's identity. Slowly, the truth emerged. Major William Martin didn't exist. The body was a plant. The documents were fabrications. The entire chain of evidence was a British intelligence operation. The WWII reported their findings to Hitler in late July, weeks after Sicily had fallen. No one in that room expected Hitler's reaction. He didn't explode in rage as many anticipated. Instead, according to officers present, Hitler fell silent. He reviewed the reports methodically. He asked specific questions about how the deception was executed. He wanted to know which officers had recommended believing the documents. He wanted to know why German intelligence failed to detect the fabrication. The Führer's response was surgical and cold. Several intelligence officers were reassigned. Trust in Spanish sources diminished significantly. Hitler personally ordered that all captured documents undergo more rigorous verification before reaching strategic planning. The failure affected German intelligence procedures for the remainder of the war. But the strategic damage was irreversible. Sicily was lost. Italy was collapsing. Allied forces now had a foothold in southern Europe. The Mediterranean theatre, which Germany needed to secure North Africa and southern supply routes, had fallen to Allied control, all because Hitler and his high command believed documents carried by a corpse that washed ashore in Spain. The following months confirmed the operation's lasting impact. Italy surrendered in September 1943. Allied forces invaded mainland Italy. German positions in the Mediterranean deteriorated rapidly. The strategic advantage gained from Operation Mincemeat cascaded through the entire southern European campaign. British intelligence considered Operation Mincemeat one of the most successful deception operations of the war. The 20 Committee studied it as a model for future operations. The concept of using fabricated documents through neutral channels influenced Allied intelligence strategy throughout 1944 and 1945. After the war, Operation Mincemeat remained classified for decades. The full details only emerged in the 1950s when British historian Ewan Montague, who helped plan the operation, published an account. Even then, certain operational details remained restricted. The identity of the body wasn't confirmed until the 1990s, when researchers finally identified Glyndwr Michael as the man behind Major William Martin. The operation demonstrated that strategic deception could achieve what direct military force could not. A single corpse, carrying carefully crafted lies, redirected an entire German army group. The cost was minimal, the impact was decisive, and Hitler, despite his strategic experience and intelligence apparatus, fell completely for the deception. The question that haunted German intelligence after Operation Mincemeat was simple. If the British could fabricate such convincing evidence once, how many other times had they done it? That paranoia affected German intelligence assessments for the rest of the war. Every document became suspect. Every captured source required excessive verification. The operational cost of doubting everything slowed German strategic response across multiple theaters. Operation Mincemeat proved that in total war, the most effective weapon isn't always firepower. Sometimes it's information, sometimes it's deception, and sometimes it's a dead man carrying secrets that aren't secret at all. Another silent page of the war finally comes to light. Continue through our archive of forgotten operations. Tell us what you think in the comments, subscribe, leave your like, and share this video with two people you remembered while watching.